everyone, welcome to Marriage Together. Today we're gonna talk about a big issue about the CAR woman, which is a Christian. C as a Christian, if you're really Christian, not religious, if you follow Christ. A is appealing if you're good looking, and then if you keep your body weight or certain look. And R if you're realistic, you're standard, and the way you're thinking of mind. Today we're gonna talk about all three of them, but this time we're gonna talk about the sex issue. Let's read it. I'm not sure what to do. My husband and I are not on the same sex wavelength. Like, understand, depending the age, depending on how long to be together. So, men and girl, a woman never had the same sexual drive, and most likely men are the highest sexual drive because they are always see beautiful women. So basically they are always ready to go, and women usually for sexual drive they have to go, their mindset has to be there. They have to have some fancy, like for example some romantic value and stuff like that in order to have that sexual drive. We've been married for over 30 years. Congratulations. That's mean they've been together for a long time. They know each other, they experience life together, they go up to each other. That's a good thing. And he has always been a source of agreement. Well, if a sexual drive is also an issue from the beginning, and she didn't complain about it when the beginning, I know it's an agreement, but I think she found a kind of pleasure at it, because when a woman or sexual creature at one point, they love the sex drive, especially if the man has more sex drive than her. She most likely want more because she's all ready to explore that sexual intercourse, or that thirst she has to counter that sexual drive. First, it was he wanted all the time, like multiple times a day, and would get upset when I didn't. That's a good thing. CAR Christian. If you're a Christian, that's mean that you cannot go there and have explore other women. If you're a man, if you're a female, you cannot go over there and explore other men body, because that's called adultery if you're married. And even though if you're a Christian, you're not married, that's called fornication, because you're supposed to be single. You're supposed to say until marriage to have. That's why most women that's now do, after they have a baby, they are born again virgin, which is not scriptural. We have to serve for those women because they're already in false narrative. And also about that, as a man, they always want to have sex, especially they be married first, and they have a lot of feelings. So basically, when they first married, they has a highest peak. So basically, they want it all the time. That's one of the issue women has issue with. They want the money, they want the house, they want the car, and then they think they can verbalize and have a contract with the sex. But the men, since you get married, they want that sexual drive, especially if you're not married and you used to give it to him every time. Now it's become an issue when they become married. That's the problem with modern women lately, because modern women, they want to give it in any time, any day, any moment. For the guy that's not committed to, when they are commitment, they feel like it's an issue when you have the same requirement. But when they're out of the market, they want to go all over again every time, every day. And the guy, because they know in order to like the guy, they got to give you the sexual drive. And then I understand the guy, because once you start giving it from the loving phase, and then boyfriend girlfriend phase, and then fiance phase, and then you married, you trying to hold on to it, that's a bad sign for you as a lady. If you have a partner from the boyfriend and girlfriend, keep it up. Don't try to change it. If you change it, the guy sees it as a threat, and he's gonna find it somewhere else. Then he was watching porn all the time, so that's the way the guy found something else. He better watch the porn and then go to the girl next door, because most likely if he doesn't find that satisfaction, he's gonna find it somewhere else, either by porn, or either by having a one night stand, or he have pay a pro. And the guy always they always worried about sexual drive is the number one aspect to the, because single lady knows that to secure a man, to have a man heart, they have to give it in, they have to give it out to that guy, even though the guy is doesn't have the appealing the rule, but they know that they have to give it. And then the reality that the woman is so already she fell on the up part, because realistic she used to give it to him before marriage, and then now she holding it after marriage, so she's already the realizes is the gun. And I don't even know the Christian part or the A part. Let's find out. Then he was usually want me to dress all the time in lingerie. So basically, that's a fantasy. Men usually have the fantasy and they are curious, they are explore, and women are always complaining about spicing things up in the bedroom, and the man is finally trying to express his feeling. That's hard for me to express the sexual drive, especially if they think they're gonna look like as bad or awkward, or they're gonna look like as another way because they have a sexual drive. Not every minute is in that same shape or form, but everyone is different. So that's why sometimes you gotta know your woman. But if your woman find it fancy to have a different sex job, for example, today you can be the house cleaner, tomorrow you can be the handyman. So basically you gotta explore that. But after marriage, women find like is an issue because what happened is they feel like all they gotta do is work, and then they're gonna stay in their house or do their thing, and then maybe they're gonna have a sex. But the thing is, some men doesn't change because they want it all the time. They want to spice things up. Then he moved up onto the he wanted to swing. So there we go. That's what I say. Men always find a way to satisfy that thirst. So when you go to swinging, that's mean the C part is gone because the Christian don't do that. That's called adultery to the highest level, and it's called unfaithful. That's mean that the girl is unfaithful, the wife is unfaithful, the husband is unfaithful, and then you get the opportunity to a third party to come to a marriage to know your dispute. Some people that's how they broken up. They end up with this with the swing partner, and that's a big issue. And sometimes they end up it's a mess like a threesome for some. That goes because in the marriage is supposed to be sacred, and the Christianity that's the C part already gone. So basically the R is being realistic because in the marriage is supposed to be faithful to one another, and they so please one another, and they submit to their need. And C is not Christian. When you go to swinging, the C part is because you have no more, you don't have the respect to the higher level, you're not gonna go to church in the Bible. So basically the C part is already gone. Or invite other partners, which we did try, and I wasn't into it. That's what it stopped. So basically she and the age, I believe if she's married 20, she's 30, so I mean 30, that's mean 40s. After 40s, women has the lowest sex drive ever, especially if they're married. They don't intend to attempt as quickly, but if they divorce and end up wanting to get married again, they won't become sexual, go out to the market, they will, because sexual drive spark up, which is kind of crazy, which is ironic because you should have that sexual drive in your relationship, not after you break up to the relationship. And that's why she says she has stopped, because if she was single, she feel like it's a good thing. She in the prime, she having fun and stuff like that, she's doing her. But in a marriage, she feel like it's offensive because she feel like the guy has more pleasure than her. If a guy has more pleasure in the relationship than her, especially sex part, woman feel offended because that's supposed to be her situation. She's supposed to have more sexual, that's supposed to be the one who's ready to go. She's supposed to be the one who tell her what's going on in the bedroom. She's supposed to be the one who's exploring things. But if the guy explore more, she feel like she's a threat because she cannot control that drive, and she's afraid that if she doesn't apply to that drive or the sex or the exploitation, she feel like she gonna lose the man, which already is healed or we lost. And once she stop at the first time when they get married, because guys always find a way to satisfy their sex thirst. Then it was not only did I have to dress up and have to do the whole talk dirty and smoke, and I'm not a smoker. Well, we compromise from the relationship, always compromise. Some people give up drinks, some people give up smoke for the relationship, for the sake. Also, that's how the relationship is sacrifice, it's duty. That's what you do. You sacrifice one thing to please the other person. In your case, is dress up and smoking. So and stay on the bedroom. That's confidentiality. That's how intimate you are in a relationship. So basically, to please one another. Then he was not, and then now he has progressed into all that, and then he want to wear lingerie too. So that's awkward. Remember, the C part is gone. When the C part is gone, everything is in jeopardy because a lot of things can go wrong. And then the all realistic also is gone. So basically, all you gotta do is a torso because it's appealing. She's probably looking good because she's if they are able to like some swingers in the relationship, that's mean they probably appealing part is good either for her or for the guy. So they usually have a website for that, but they usually looking for the appealing stuff. So I think the appealing always, the A part always make a big factor regarding good. Guys always look matter, so the appealing is always good. So the couple has a good A part which is appealing, but the realistic is that they should have the swingers in relationship with the third party. The Christian part is not there because mentally they're not focused. The guy is not Christian, the guy is not he's not looking for the hierarchy, and so that's why you see all that. So basically that's why you downgrade to lingerie. That's in curiosity. That's mean they probably have spirit of homosexuality. And so when you guys become obsessed to porn, that's become cycle. So basically they're trying to reinvent the scene that they go to the porn, they're trying to compare, or sometimes the guy find that the girl is not pleasing her, so he intends slowly to go to the other part, which is a man. So even though the guy is straight, but he probably has an idea, so probably become bi slow in the process, which you have to be careful, because once a guy's a relationship and then he love that girl, and then and then he want that every time, and the girl withdraw from that, and then if he's found a way that he check out other women and get rejected, he gonna go to find a man, because a man or sexual creature, they love sex, they love doing it. And a woman, if you hold that again, use that against it as a weapon, that's how most shouldn't do that. The guy gonna walk out, and the guy gonna find it to give it somewhere else and to please that appetite, because remember, sex drive is the number one way to get a man's heart. I'm not a prude, but him in lingerie is a complete turn off. I don't understand, because if, for example, if you guys doing lingerie and then as a woman, and then you see as a man you see a girl wearing fake P, so basically it's a big turn off. I understand that part, because now you feel like you're dating two women as woman, and the husband, but it's a two woman. So basically that's a big turn off. We having sex in a while, because I ask, if I ask, do you feel like having sex, or I ask, are you horny? His response always, well, what do you have in mind? So basically, his talk sexual activity is a good way. So for example, the guy doesn't want to go in there, and then because after a while relationship becomes so easily, you don't know what the person don't want to in mind, please, especially if he's trying to express himself, trying to, and then you get rejected. So basically he's trying to compromise to see what's better for you, so he can see if you can lower it, be a lower his standard, if he can please you. So that's the reason he asks for that. But another way, if you don't feel like it to expand to it, and then you feel bad, that's a good thing. But if you feel like he's offensive when he asks that question, so basically all you gotta do, just tell him what you have in mind, and then guess what's going on, because remember, you're the one who stopped in the first place. He's the one who's into it, he's the one trying to new things, he's the one who's passing those, he's the one who hasn't all that. But you're not, you trying to use space in the relationship, you're trying to not giving like it's a big issue, but sex is a big issue for men, they love having it. And his response always, what to do you have in mind, like what the f, I have on my mind. Does it always have to be choreographed or script? Can we just ask? Can you just get naked and f? Be honest, it's just me. So basically it's just the thing, the standard. The guy's been 30 years together. That's me been 30 years, been frustrating in that. So that's why he's been asking you, because remember, the guy got rejected every time he's trying to do something. He tried to swing her, you didn't please that, it's not what you want, and then he's trying to for example unspec things up, it not what you like, and then try to lingerie is your lingerie, and then you use a turn out. So what you into, that's what you need to find out. That's why he will go the first place to porn, because you already know what's it like, you already know what kind of things he is into. Some guys, as it grows, they're pervert, sometimes they are the imagination go higher, but you don't know how long the guy's been having those imagination ages about exploit to you. But some guy, that's why they have a side piece, because those man, he literally go to the other person, so basically they don't go to the wife or the husband. So basically that's why the infancy part make a big impact. But you guys usually think is like it's gross for the guy to expect the sexual drive, but you guys as a female is okay to expect the feeling, and then if the guy doesn't apply to that sexual drive, you're about to find somewhere else. It go both way. That's why the appealing is good, but the thing is, the realistic is that you don't want him to reject your sexual job, but you're going to reject her and your sexual job, which is a bad thing. So basically you can compromise on that one thing. Be honest, it's just my, because beside all alpha that I have over 50, and my sex job really isn't that high anymore. So basically it's always like that with age. Women sex drive drop, but men sex drive is always constant, especially if they have a more age and they is more attractive, is a bit looking good. He's able to, if he's 50, he's able to like a 30 years old woman, 20 years old, because he has more women into him. So basically He see more opportunity, he see more time to have fun, bedroom fun, not only bedroom fun. He can have multiple women at once. And also if he take like booster, for example, like Viagra and stuff like that to help him, so that's a gun, because he can go and go get the girl next door, and then go to the job and stuff like, have a fling, has a one night stand, pay a pro, because the guy, the older guy, the more women they into, and the woman, the older she get, the less men. So it's understandable, because at 50 you keep what you get. At 50 the guy can explore. If you keep his body shape, his money good, he can get more girls than he has before, because in prime is his lifetime. That's why most of them look at middle age crisis, because men and middle age crisis, they see that differently. They say they more women are into him, because when that woman wants security at that age, they got how to secure. And then you at 50, the guys see you, see the female at 50, she said that she already have all her fun. I have nothing left to do. If I go to the shit, I have nothing left. I can have a kid, one, and two, she cannot. And then she's just looking for retirement money. That's why more guys stay away from. That's why she said the sexy trap. But if she has a pelling good, and then she got press strap picture, she still can knock out the guy one or two. But the thing is, the guy can have more, because he got more girls in her range. But the girl, if she looking good, she can still have the same amount of guy. But the thing is, the guy's not gonna settle. But the girl, the woman, especially the wife, she feel like she's entitled, because the guy can start a new life with a young one. But the woman, she has to find somebody that has money and security and stuff like that before settle down. He, on the other hand, take testo testosterone shot. So basically, I was talking about that he still has a sex drive. Any advice I appreciate. My advice to you is that, since you've been injecting him for 30 years, and then now he's in his prime his life, he see life differently. He see that he can have sex every time, every now, everywhere. So for you is a threat. I will tell you that one thing: since the appealing for him is good, and your appealing, I think your appealing is going lower, so that's why you feel that way. Before, you would have a problem because you have a good appealing. That's why you try to swing, you try to have it more often. But now you're 50, your energy is not the same, and then that's why the stage of is if it is downgrade. And also, not but the surgery also, you feel like you have more in mind, you got something more interest, and you feel like you getting older. At 50, women think they are old, they are very old, and they are, especially they're married. But if you're not married, they're still looking for something, something to driving around, to spat things up, to keep going. But if they're married, they feel like, oh, they feel rejected, they feel like they don't deserve anything. So for the guy at 50, they feel like he start living, he can have any woman he want, he can pay for it, he can get away from that. And especially for this age, all he gotta do is keep looking good. So basically, the C wasn't applied. They're not Christian, they don't pray, so basically they don't respect that sacred vow. The appealing, the guy say have appealing, but the lady doesn't have appealing. So basically, that's a one and off. So the woman is feel neglected, feel left behind, because her appealing change, her look change, and he able to attract more women, and especially if his appealing is good. And they're not really realistic, because he is the other one trying to have fun and not settle down. He forget that he is not a relationship, and she's just trying not to be realistic, because you are supposed to please your husband, but you feel like you're not in that position to please your husband because of the age, and your search drive is lower. Remember, if you guys pray together and ask God about it, God's gonna find a way, either cool him off, or either give you that boost drive. Remember, when the guys usually under retirement age, 50, they feel like the sex is good, and they have a bedroom experience, and women love that, and they can have anything they want. And especially for your case, your man, since he's trying to do lingerie, I don't there's a question mark about that, if he's straight, or if he's bad. But the thing is, if he's still trying to under that path, most likely he gonna find a woman outside, and that's gonna be an issue between you and her. And most likely, if it's a younger woman, 90% of the time he gonna go to your own younger woman, even though you got 50 years, 30 years of marriage, because guys love beauty, they love young thing. And guys, you got to be careful. For the CAR woman, the Christian, appealing, and realistic woman, congratulations. And guys, this one in the video, and other perspective. As soon as the next one.